Guess what blog is incredibly boring to read? It's the company blog that exists only to sell you products. Every post is trying to get you to buy. It's one long advertorial feed. What a snooze. Even the most engaged and loyal customers are going to be bored by that blog. So if you have a product-based business and a blog, or are thinking about starting a blog for your business, what should you blog about? In fact, should you have a blog at all? I'm Jordana Randolph. I help product-based businesses grow from being small side hustles to full-time businesses to being wildly successful. In this video, I'm going to help you decide if you should have a blog for your product-based business, and I'm going to share with you the 3 key elements to an effective blogging strategy. Then at the end, I'll pass along to you some great ideas to get your blog started. Blogging can easily become a full-time job. Constantly creating quality content, taking photographs, editing, and promoting that blog post is draining. And once you finish with one post, the cycle starts all over again. What's worse is that you didn't start your business to become a writer. Yet you keep hearing that content is king and that you should be blogging. But should you really be blogging away your valuable time? To answer that question, let's start by looking at the purpose of blogging for a product-based business. The first is that blogging helps new potential customers find your business. Creating shareable content on subjects that attract customers will drive traffic to your website. The second is that a blog helps you retain existing customers by keeping them engaged in your company. They're going to return to you because they like what you're doing. Given that both of these purposes are something that a business owner is trying to achieve, it seems that yes, the answer is you should be blogging. But like anything that you do in your business, in order for it to be effective, it has to be done right. You can't just blog for the sake of blogging and expect to get results. There has to be thought and intention behind your blog. You need an effective blogging strategy. One of the most difficult but important parts of an effective blogging strategy is to figure out what to post about. Now, as we've already established, only posting about your products isn't a great strategy. That's the blog that no one wants to read. So first you have to understand that blogging is a long-term strategy. The goal is not to get the reader to purchase a product right after reading your post. The goal is to drive new traffic to your website, engage the reader, connect with them, and get them to want to know more about your products. Eventually, in time, they are likely to purchase. So an effective blogging strategy is one that creates shareable content that interests your target customer. Before I was a business consultant, I owned a handbag company. One of my most successful blog posts was how to properly store your handbags when they aren't in use. It was effective because it was shareable content. You see, in order for your blog to fulfill its purpose of attracting new customers, it has to be creating shareable content. Content that gets shared beyond your social media bubble. When I say bubble, what I'm talking about is when you only post to your own accounts. The people who are seeing those posts already know about your business and your products. So in order for your posts to get shared, they have to be something that people are willing to share with others. Things that entertain, inform, and inspire. Those are the types of posts that are going to get shared by other blogs, websites, and influencers. That's content they're willing to share with their readers over content that's trying to make a sale. So my post about how to properly care for your handbags wasn't trying to sell, so when I posted it to my accounts, it was something that other websites, blogs, and influencers were willing to share with their readers. Now, the second part to an effective blogging strategy is one that creates content that interests your target customers. With my last example, I was attracting anyone who owned more than one handbag. But to be a truly effective blog post, I needed to be attracting my target customers. That way, as I drove traffic to my website, I increased the likelihood of eventually making a sale. You see, my customer wasn't just anyone who liked to carry handbags. My customer was specifically knitters. They were classy handbags designed for women to be able to take their knitting on the go. So an even more successful blog post for me was titled "How to Choose a Knitting Project and Pack for Airplane Travel." It was successful because it was shareable content that informed, and it was also attracting my target customer, knitters. So when I shared the post on my social media accounts, it was quickly shared by other websites, businesses, bloggers, and influencers because it was content that they thought their readers would be interested in. What then happened is I was attracting my target customer to my website. Now, these people may not have instantly purchased from me that day, but they likely joined my mailing list, followed me on social media, and even if they didn't do those two things, I was now on their radar. They had heard of my business. The third part to an effective blogging strategy is consistency. Visiting the blog on a company website that hasn't been updated for 5 months or is updated sporadically does more harm for the business than the good of having the blog. It just isn't professional. So if you decide that adding blogging to your marketing strategy is something that you want to do, make sure you select a schedule that you can stick to. It could be once a day, once a week, twice a month, whatever it is, just make sure that you can be consistent because consistency is more important than the number of times that you post. All right, so let's get back to that original question. Should you be blogging for your product-based business? Now, to say you should really isn't accurate because there are a lot of strategies when it comes to marketing your business. But if you want to get new customers into your business and you want to engage your existing customers, blogging is certainly a good strategy to consider. Even more so if you know that you can create shareable content that interests your target customer and you can do so consistently, then I'm going to say yes, blogging is definitely a marketing strategy that you should undertake. If you've decided that blogging is a marketing strategy that you'd like to add to your business, then be sure to download my free PDF worksheet below this video. It's a list of blog post ideas specifically for product-based businesses. Then check out part 2 of this video as I share with you more tips and ideas for how to use your blog to gain customers and increase your following. Now, I have a question for you. What key elements do you think increase the likelihood of a blog post getting shared? Leave your comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you know anyone who owns a product-based business that you think would benefit from this video, please pass it along to them. And for more tips and resources on how to grow your business, join my mailing list. You'll receive access to my private Facebook group and free business classes.